Can you survive 100 days in a desert-only world where there's nothing but desert for miles and miles on end, especially with the new caves in Minecraft, which are sometimes even too big to explore? This is surviving 100 days in Minecraft hardcore on a desert-only world. So watch this video all the way till the end. Comment down below what's the highest number of days you survived in hardcore, and please tap that like button. YouTube statistics also showing a small percentage of you guys are actually subscribed, so click that subscribe button. It's free, easy, and you can unsubscribe later. But this is 100 days in a desert-only world. Day 1 in a brand new world, and the first thing I find is an amazing cave, which is probably part of the new snapshot structure. After a while, I came across a little cave, but there was a spawner in the surface, so I was like, yo, let me yoink the loot and let me dip. But then I was getting shot by the skeleton and I didn't know exactly what to do, so I left. After coming across a village, I realized, okay, this is my food source already completed, and the whole point is I wanted to find a village, because if you don't know, there's usually a crafting table in these villages too, so that's what I used to craft all my bread, and I was set on food for a while. After that, I came across a temple, and I guarantee there was OP loot. Yeah, no, it was capped. There was no loot. This was good garbage. It was trash. One of the worst temples I found, but I found iron. And with that, I also found a notch apple, so I can't really complain. I don't think you guys actually truly understand how many villages are in this desert world. It's unbelievable how many there are. I went inside and I yoinked all the loot from the blacksmith, which actually turned out to be pretty interesting, and I got everything I needed. Then I decided to mine some cobblestone because I needed to make all the tools. And once I had enough resources, I made all the tools I needed. After that, I decided, you know what? Let me 1-2 this iron golem. Let me get the iron. Even though I didn't really need it, I just yoinked them. After a little bit more exploring, I realized I found another village, and this is the place I would call my home for day 1. So I went to the top of this castle and I overlooked the entire world for the first time. Day 2, I grabbed my bed and stored up all the loot I didn't need into a chest. I decided I needed more food, so I collected as much here as I could, and I made an iron axe with all the iron I had acquired. Then I decided it's time to go adventuring, and then I came across a new cave, which was unbelievable. An underwater cave, which almost cost me my life. By the way, just a heads up, these don't have any air pockets, and you guys can actually realize I almost died in this scenario. I didn't expect it to be this overpowered. After making it out, I decided, yo, you know what? Let me travel a little bit more, and I found a temple again. I mined up all the TNT. Then I set up the trap, which only makes it blow the bomb layer, so I had 3 sandstone and a bunch of loot too. I needed resources, so I decided, you know what, I need to go mining. And I didn't want to go into no massive cave, so I decided, you know what, maybe strip mining is the shot. After a little while, I came across a new ore, the copper ore, which surprisingly looks kind of weird, but you know what, it's kind of sick. After hours of mining, I came across wood for the first time in my entire life in this desert biome. And with that, I also found a new structure mine shafts, which actually had proper wood, which, again, honestly, I can't really complain. And this cave was actually huge. I had to torch up the entire place, and it was actually pretty sick. After exploring the mine shaft for a little bit, I came across this little gremlin, and bro, this guy wanted to kill me. Do you know how overpowered this guy is? He poisons you and you're dead. I yoinked as much wood as I can from this mine shaft before I had to leave. Exploring more and more of this cave, I came across a creeper who wanted beef, but he just self-destructed. Kind of rough for him. I yoinked up all my furnaces. I came across a skeleton with a power bow, and you know what? I didn't want to have beef with this guy. I just wanted to talk to him, so I gave him the 1-2, the clap in the head, and you know what? He's dead. And a creeper came out of nowhere who wanted beef too, and you know what? I just let him just die. So I'm playing on the new snapshot, and I didn't really truly understand how big these caves were until I actually got inside them myself. And I kid you not, this is probably one of the biggest caves ever. I was not prepared for what was about to happen. I was getting killed by every single mob. Like, it's unbelievable how many mobs there actually are in here. After slowly taking down all the mobs bit by bit, it took so long. I decided to torch up the entire place with the rest of the torches I had acquired, and I came across these lovely diamonds, which honestly, diamonds aren't actually that rare anymore. So are diamonds even good? I don't even know anymore. With that, I mined up more of the copper because I don't really know what it's used for, but it's good to have. After finding more diamonds in the underwater portion of this cave, I decided to start heading back up, but then I realized that this is massive. I used the doors to keep regaining my breath, but I don't think you actually understand how big these caves truly are. Even when you dig up, it just keeps on going, and this surprised me so much. It was endless, and I was so excited to play this. I got to a part where I could actually dig up to the surface, and I made my way to the closest village to end day 5. The next day, I yoinked all the loot from the blacksmith, and I found a ruined portal, so I wanted to check out what the loot was inside here. I wanted to make a few shovels, and I decided to mine out this entire place because this is the place I would actually call home. I had a design in mind in what I wanted to build, and obviously the theme had to be a pyramid. I didn't want to make it too big, but I wanted to make it decent. Once the first layer was done, I decided to start moving all my loot in, and that's when it turned night and all these guys started spawning, and I didn't want any part of this. The next couple of days was spent actually making the next parts of my pyramid. All I did was play sandstone, I kid you not. I went through so many shovels. I think this is the most shovels I've ever gone through. After both my shovels broke, I decided to make my way back, and by the time I got back, it already started to turn in night, so I don't know how long I had left. The next day, I came across a temple, and in this temple, it was obvious that I could easily get some sandstone. I yoinked up all the TNT and did the 1 TNT strat again to get more sandstone than I could do with mining. For the rest of the day, I used a diamond shovel to mine sand until it literally broke. I don't think you guys, it actually broke. A diamond shovel broke. What? It had turned night and I was honestly scared. The next day, I wake up to an intruder in my house, so I had to give him the 1-2 clap and then begin the strategy of more placing to build this pyramid. And then I did more building, and I don't think you guys truly understand. Bro, this pyramid is gonna look the best. It's the best pyramid on YouTube. I don't care what anyone says. And I realized that this pyramid looks so cool at nighttime. The next day, more intruders came, and you know, I realized I do need to torch up this place slightly. So what I did was I yoinked the coal from my furnaces, I put them into torches, and ended up torching the entire place up. But the mobs still kept spawning for some reason. I made the rest of the food I could because I don't want to starve on food, and I wanted to go to the nether now to get more resources. This is when I came across an amazing ravine that I wanted to explore in the future that was really near a lava source. So I ended up making a nether portal for the future nether travels that I could actually use. And once I was going inside, I just crossed my fingers for the best spawn possible. And you know what? It was the worst spawn possible. I kid you not. Who wants a soul sand biome? No one. After coming across these guys, you know what? There were so many piglins chasing me. Like, bro, I had a whole army behind me. It was some revolution I didn't understand. I wanted to mine as much wood as I can because wood is a scarce resource in the desert. And while I was here, I thought I could do some trading, so I mined some gold too. That was when I came across a Bastion. And you know what? You might be thinking, Quiff, you're hella stupid. Who wants to fight a Bastion this early on? But obviously me, so I decided to go inside the Bastion and take the loot that was mine. That was when I came across the boss room. And this is where I did the start of building free up and just fighting them. So with that, I was in a position that they couldn't hit me, but I could kill them. After slowly killing them both, it took so long. I wanted to loot up these chests, and this is where I found 2 ancient debris. Yo, how fast do I get ancient debris? And with that, I also looted the second chest, which was more ancient debris. That's 3 ancient debris. I came across the other chest room, and again, there was more things, but these guys were on me 24/7. I was not in a position to mess about, so I had the 1-2 bow spam, you know, MCSG Pro, and I was just watching this little mosh pit while I was killing them all. Loot is loot. I can't really complain, but it wasn't that good. I found the gold room, and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna mine all this gold. I didn't want to die, so you know what, the best strat is leave everything behind, dig up, and disappear from this world. So I made my way to the surface and decided to make my way back to my actual portal. On the way back, I came across a guy with a power bow, and you know what, he was shooting me up. Yo, I could have potentially died, and if I died from this, I would have been kind of sad. I yoinked the bone block and I decided, you know what, I'm finally back home, let's dip. I made my way back home, and I had to travel all the way back to my pyramid. The main goal is get more sandstone, even if it means destroying all the village. Looking for more villages, I came across this amazing ravine, and then of course another village. But yo, this village was OP. If this was a speedrun seed, it'd be cracked. I made my way to the temple and destroyed all the TNT, and I did the usual strat of just making it all blow so I get free sandstone for life. I should stack up my food, so that's exactly what I did. And while I was there, I actually just yoinked the farm, because I realized, where can I get seeds from and where can I actually get dirt from, other than, because it's a desert, you can't get dirt. The next couple of days I spent completely building my house and farms, so that meant mining a bunch of sand and placing an entrance at the beginning of my pyramid. And honestly, this was coming along really well. I needed to do some interior decorating, and I'm gonna be real, I don't know exactly how pyramids look on the inside. My plan was to make a little circle in the middle. Yeah, I don't know what was going through my mind, but the design actually turned out okay. After a while, the pyramid was coming along perfectly. I wanted to make my entrance a little bit bigger so it stands out and it looks kind of nice compared to the actual pyramid. So when it actually turns up to showing it, it looks epic. I needed to remove all the sand in the area to make actual floor, and the problem was I needed cobblestone. So what do? I decided I need to go mining. I go into an underwater cave and I find this new little area which I didn't actually know about, but apparently it's called the amethyst crystal thingy majiggy, and you can get blocks of amethyst from this, which is actually really cool. So I spent the next hour mining all the amethyst, collecting all the crystals I needed, and spending the rest of my pickaxe mining cobblestone because I needed a lot of stone bricks. Once my pickaxe was about to break, I made my way back up, and by the time I got back up, it was already nighttime. I had to evade this guy's shots, but you know what, he has trash aim anyway. Make my way back, I was wondering, how do I make a spyglass? I kid you not, this spyglass is actually epic. Once I smelted all my cobblestone, I decided, you know what, time to start making my floor. Until this guy came out of nowhere, and you know what, I didn't expect him to blow up, but you know, it kind of worked out because he dug some area for me. But then again, more mining, more placing. You know what, this was a lot of work, and after a while, half of it was actually done. I used my spyglass to watch the sunset because, you know, it was kind of nice. It was peaceful. The next day, I went back to shoveling, and I don't think you actually understand. After this, I've had enough of shoveling sand for the rest of my life. Just look how much sand I have for mining. It's unbelievable. And after a long time, it was finally done. I wanted to go back into the nether, and I realized that I was actually so close to a bastion. So I made my way over to the bastion and mined this gravel, and that was probably the biggest mistake of my entire life, where I almost died. I didn't eat my notch apple. If I didn't eat my notch apple, I probably would have have died there. Once I made my way inside to the Bastion, I came across Big Boss Man over here, and you know what? I gave him a 1-2 critteroonie. And after that, I killed all the subordinates, the piglins, and it was probably the best decision because I probably would have died if I opened the chest without actually killing these old guys. I made my way and collected everything in the chest, which wasn't actually that good, except that I got a silk touch pickaxe. And again, I found another Big Boss Man, and this time this guy had backup. Like, bro, who are you trying to beef over here? I came across this guy and he almost killed me. Bro, I was shaking in my boots right now. But then all I did was crit him and he was dead. And he honestly brought his friend along, which I didn't mind about. Free leather, who cares? After more exploring, I just kept going around and around until I realized that is that fortress? That is a fortress. So I went and killed all the blazes. I honestly didn't expect to find a fortress in the middle of nowhere. I honestly thought it'd take me a lot longer, but I'm glad I realized. I can't cap it was a trash fortress, so I left the trade. After a while, this guy wanted some beef, so I hit it back at him and I got an achievement return to sender. Making my way into the second part of the fortress, I found a chest and it gave me some cool loot, but the main reason was I needed a bunch of nether warts for potions in the future. So after I got everything I wanted, I decided to leave. Once I got back home, I wanted to increase my sugarcane farm, and then while I was there, I decided, you know what, time to craft an enchantment table. Also, I had enough netherite now to actually make a netherite ingot. So Pog, we also got a netherite ingot day 31. When I woke up, I realized, wait, I have a friend in here. But then I was like, yo, do I need him? I don't really need him. Let me shoot him up. But then I was like, maybe if he can survive while I get a name tag, we'll keep him. So I went on a journey to find a name tag, and I honestly can't explain how long this journey took me. I was looking everywhere for a temple. When I need a temple, it's not here. But after a long time, I found a temple, and you know what? I tried to blow up the TNT with a power bow, but I realized I thought I had flames. So you know what? Don't roast me. But then once I blew it up, I got all the loot, and luckily for me, I saw a name tag. I started to make my way back to my house, and once I got back to my actual pyramid, I found that this guy was still here vibing. I don't know how. So I went to go make an anvil and decided I'm gonna name this guy Kipper. Once I had my name tag, I decided, you know what, boy, you are Kipper now. Kipper the rabbit. So day 33, I decided let's go back into the nether. The whole reason I needed to go into nether was I needed a bunch of leather for the sole purpose of making a pouch. So once I got back with all my leather, I decided, all right, time to make a pouch. It was at this moment I realized I completely messed up. I needed rabbit hide, not leather, to make the new pouches. So I went around hunting rabbits, and honestly, I don't want to kill rabbits. They're too hard to kill. So I gave up on killing rabbits, and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna fish for some potions. I wanted to get a pufferfish to make a water breathing potion, so I spent the next couple of days actually just fishing. Then I came across this zombie who actually just wanted to beef with me for some reason. I have no idea what I did to him, but he just wanted to just hit me. After a while, I finally got the holy pufferfish, which took so long, and with that, I could finally make my potions. But I realized I didn't have redstone, so I had to go mining to get some quick redstone. And you know how these underwater caves are, they're so hard. I found a little entrance to a cave, and there were so many mobs around. You know what, this is probably not the best strat to ever do in hardcore. I came across some quick diamonds while I was getting shot and decided to mine them. I ate a gapple just in case I was gonna die, because it's better to be safe than sorry, am I right? Once I killed the mobs around, I decided to mine the rest of the diamonds and to escape from this entire area because I didn't want to die. Leaving the mine, I realized, wait, did I just walk over redstone that entire time? So I got back, mined the redstone, and made my potions a lot longer. And the problem was I was running low on food, so I decided to ransack every single village and collect all the hay I needed. And I'm telling you, I yoinked every single hay from each village. With that, I literally robbed this guy's bed. I kicked him out of his own house. When I got back, I needed Aqua Infinity on my helmet, and that's exactly what I got. Like, no one asked for Aqua Infinity. With that, I went rabbit hunting to kill the rest of the rabbits. I needed a lot of rabbit hides to make this new pouch. I'm sorry for all my rabbit friends out here, but you know what? They had to die. The next couple days, I spent building my entire house to the best of its capabilities, and that was with making an epic entrance, which actually included just me mining a bunch of sand and me making a bunch of sandstone. The aim was to make an Egyptian-style tower pyramid-esque statues. Yeah, I don't know what I had in mind, but I wanted to make a little epic entrance, just so it synonymizes that this is an epic pyramid that hosts just the best of stuff, even though the inside's not actually done. But it took me a while, and I kind of got like a little pattern down. Honestly, the pattern came out a lot better than I would have expected, and it was rather simple. If anyone has any tips on how to build sick pyramid entrances, let me know, because you know, I was kind of struggling with this. I wanted to add as much depth as I could to this pyramid, so I added different sandstone blocks to add a bit of a pattern. I still didn't know what I was going to do with the interior, so I just decided, you know what, let's just mine this little circle I had going out. Kipper escaped, so I had to quickly block him in, but for some reason this guy can phase through blocks. I don't know, maybe there was a hole, but I guess the hole didn't count, but I had to block this guy off. After he was secure, I decided, you know what, time to mine this completely out. That was when I came across this creeper. Bro, what are you doing in my creep? Stop, you're illegal. He almost blew up and I would have been so sad. The next day I mined more sugarcane to make my farm even bigger, and I wanted to go out on a journey with my new bundle pouch thing. So I used the water breathing potion and decided to go mining to explore the new cave system. And when I went mining, I came across the new little amethyst crystal ball, and you know what, free amethyst, I'll always take it. I'm not complaining. There were too many mobs around and I wanted to get out of this place to get back to the surface, so So I started to dig up, and this is when I realized, wait a second, did I just dig into the stronghold? There's no way I've just dug into the stronghold. And this is where I was low-key kind of freaking out. I was like, how did I just find a stronghold without actually... Bro, what? So I ended up finding the actual room. I yoinked this thingy, and then I realized, okay, there's one eye already in here. I only need 11 eyes. With that, I mined the rest of these bookshelves because I needed the books anyway, so I got 2 birds, 1 stone. I yoinked the chest in here, which gave me some OP enchants. And at this point, I realized, wait, I have silk touch on my pickaxe, which I can use to mine these bookshelves. With that, I made my way back home. I made my way back to the amethyst and back into the cave because I was like, what, bro? What is this cave? I mined the diamonds that were here, and I decided, you know what? Let me get the rest of this coal and let me go back to the surface. Once I arrived back home, I wanted to get my level 30 enchantments ready. But for that, I needed level 30, so I decided, you know what? Time to go straight into the nether and mine as much as I could. Once I got enough levels, I decided, you know what? Now is the time for me to enchant the greatest things in the entire universe. And that was when I got there, I instantly had a fortune 3 pickaxe. Hello? Hello? Yo, is my enchant just sick? I did say I am probably the luckiest person in the entire world. And with that, I made my diamond items. I went back into the nether to get more levels, and at the same time, I wanted as much wood as I can. Once I got back home, I used the rest of my diamonds that I silk touched and got as many as I could with my fortune 3. Now with this, I used all my levels to enchant as best I could, which I got decent boots. I had a few books to upgrade my gear, so once I had my OP boots, I made them into netherite boots, my first ever netherite piece. And I'm telling you, I looked amazing. Now with that, I made my sword sharpness 4 and I named it sub to Quiff. And that was nighttime for me. The next day, I spent actually upgrading my pyramid a little bit by adding stairs. And honestly, it was coming along really well. I was gonna MLG this, but then I realized it's 1.7 and I have no idea what if I could die or not. So the next day, I made as much smooth sandstone as I could, and I started to place more stairs to fill this out. I wanted to go back into the nether to get some resources. And the whole thing I wanted glowstone, because glowstone would be a cool thing to add to my build. So I mined as much as like glowstone as I could until there was literally nothing left. And with that, I mined the rest of the nether warts I saw. And once I headed back, I decided to outline my entire pyramid with glowstone. It was coming along really well until I realized I have nowhere near enough glowstone to finish this up. So I started working on the side, and I was gonna add a cobblestone stair. Then I realized sandstone works the best. I guess I'll keep it like sandstone vibe. And honestly, this pyramid was looking better and better each day. When it was night, I saw a pigman in my overworld. Like, bro, how? I wanted to name him. So what I did was I captured him a little bit and I left him there. Again, I didn't have a name tag. I headed back into the nether. This piglin got too close to comfort. I guess he missed the memo on Valentine's Day. I wanted to loot the rest of these chests, but then I realized, oh wait, that piglin's kind of clocked where I am, so I need to just build up slightly. I wanted to do as much trading as I could because I need ender pearls. And for some reason, this guy just did not want to trade with me at all. For some reason, these guys weren't scared. These guys wanted to fight. Even the little baby, bro. I gave all my gold to the piglins, and I was waiting for them to give me the best trades. I found a little area where I could mine some quick glowstone while I'm waiting for the trades. And while I was overlooking this entire area, I realized, yo, these guys are scammers. So I quickly made a trip back home. As soon as I collected all my gold, I headed back to the nether. Once I gave them every single bit of my gold, I didn't want to wait just on them, so I fighted this enderman, and it was probably one of the worst mistakes ever because he could have potentially clapped me if he was smart. He died and he didn't drop me anything. My gold was running low, so I had to mine some, and while I was there, I had to grab more wood for a crafting table. I realized these guys are officially scammers. They only dropped me 4 ender pearls in the entire thing. I decided, you know what, I might as well kill you for more leather like always. And when I returned, I didn't see anything of value. Once it was time to kill them all, I realized, wait, they did drop ender pearls, I guess. I can't really complain. I headed back into the blaze spawner to get blaze rods, and I spent the rest of my day killing these guys. Once I had 6, I thought, yep, that's probably the time to leave. And with that, I made a potion of strength, and I was checking on my amazing pigment. I ended up making a lightning rod. I placed it on the top of my pyramid to see how it looked, and it gave me an Aztec kind of vibe. When I came down to check, I realized my pigment had disappeared. So I headed back into there to get level 30, and I spent a lot of days doing this because I wanted to get the best enchant so that when I versed the ender dragon, he would actually have a fair chance of not killing me, because I had no idea how 1.7 ender dragons work. I didn't know if I could bed cycle him. I started enchanting all the gear I ever got, and honestly, I had the worst enchants ever. But you know what? I got a power 4, so I could make an OP bow in the meantime. So I made my way to the stronghold. I activated the portal, and I decided, you know what? Time to start destroying these crystals. I had to play legit. I can't do the bed cycle. I had to fight in pretty vanilla like this. There were so many times I would have died by MLG. I really got some nostalgia fighting the ender dragon pretty vanilla, and that even meant building up and breaking it with gravel. After it took me a while to break all of them, he started perching, and that was the perfect time for me to start fighting this guy. So I kept hitting him as much as I could for him to do damage, and you know what? This guy was almost dead. and I land all my MLGs. I gave him a bit of a bow spam, and honestly, the bow skill was kind of OP. I ain't gonna clap. Like, this was like kind of sick. As soon as he was down again, I was hitting him as much as I can with a strength potion, and he was pretty much a 1 or 2 shot, and I almost died here, but I had a pill to clutch myself. And with that, he was a 1 shot, and he was ready to die. And there you go. And the Ender Dragon was dead on day 76. The next week, I spent completely in the NC because I wanted to get as much loot as I can, and I don't know how long I'll last here, so I decided, you know what, let me take as much as I could. So I decided to explore as much as I could of the NC and get as much OP loot as I could. And it kind of lived up to its name where I got OP loot. Again, it wasn't too much of good loot, but it was loot nonetheless. I have to say, these levitation things are probably OP, but they're so annoying at the same time. Like, stop hitting me. After I'm making my way into all of them, I got all the loot I could out of it, so I decided, you know what, I think it might be time to leave. I got levitated so high, I thought I could ender pearl into the pirate ship, and I actually did. With that, I ended up destroying the dragon head, which fell all the way down. I yoinked the loot in this chest, and I took the amazing elytra that was here. With that, I weighed my way down and enjoyed the scenery while I was flying. I picked up the dragon head that fell, and I started to make my way back home. But before I leave, I couldn't leave the dragon egg, so I picked it up because that was my ornament for winning the game. And with that, I beat Minecraft officially. After I killed the ender dragon, I made a shulker box. I was gonna make the dragon the centerpiece. I put the head on top of my pyramid, and I started disenchanting all the rubbish loot I got from the NC. That I spent the rest of the day just enchanting all my loot I ended up getting, and I ended up getting some sick enchantments, but what do you expect with like 70 levels? You're gonna get stupid loot. After I got the best items I could from my enchants, I decided to start upgrading my house a little bit, and this consisted of just replacing it all with stone brick. I even started doing some decorating on inside to make a little entrance. I changed Kipper's actual cage, and I headed to the nether to get some wither skeletons. I wanted to kill them all just so I could actually fight the wither too. It took me a long time, but I actually got my first wither head, which was kind of cool. Then I spent the next couple hours just grinding this, and I kid you not, without looting, this is probably the hardest thing you're ever gonna see. I don't think you truly understand how long it actually takes to do it without looting. It's unbelievable. But once I finally got all my heads, it was time to actually prepare myself to fight the wither. So I killed the creeper I saw. It was great practice. I headed into the new cave system because it's the perfect fighting grounds, and I was ready to fight. This was all guns blazing. I had my strength instantly injected, and I was ready to fight this guy. I was shooting this guy. He was hitting me with a wither, but surprisingly, the wither didn't actually do that much damage. I would have thought the wither would have done a lot more damage, but I guess it really doesn't. I'd had my instant healing just in case I did die, and once it was time he got close enough, I started hitting with a smite fight, so I got from the NC, and this was the winning feature of me actually doing it. And with that, I actually ended up getting a nether star. Plus, this wither lasts forever. Once I made my way back, I ended up making a beacon, and with the weirdest block combinations you've ever seen, I made it out of gold, diamond, and iron. And that was how the beacon looked for my pyramid. It was honestly astonishing, and it was amazing. So after that, I decided to work on a fisherman farm, which was more and more building, and once it actually looked perfect, on day 99, I was like, okay, I need to do something big, and that was just build up all the way to the top and MLG all the way down. And this was probably either the stupidest thing or the smartest thing ever, but either way, I landed it. I am the MLG pro. That I waited back inside my house where I found a creeper and a bunch of mobs, and I was not down for this. I just survived the MLG, bro. I'm not gonna die to a skeleton. I grabbed the loot from my chest and started shooting these guys off to clear my area, and that was the last night. Day 100 had arrived, and I decided to destroy my sand pillar to represent day 99 and the close death I had. I made a sign and wrote day 100 pog. This was 100 days in a desert only world with me and your boy Kipper. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and let me know what you think.